ever wish you could do things that your friends can do? I know I do. Sometimes I feel it's not fair that I can't do everything. Once, Bill and Ben teased Harvey about his crane and made him feel like a very funny-looking engine. But Harvey was soon reminded how good it was to have a crane after all. It meant he could do something very useful indeed. Rebecca couldn't think of anything that made her special until she stopped comparing herself to the other engines and realized she does something very important. Rebecca sees the best in everyone. And that makes everyone feel good and want to do their best. Just think how great things would be if we were all a little bit more like Rebecca.
Come on, Thomas!
It's time to go.
See you next time! Have you and your friends ever had a race? Racing can be fun, but sometimes I get so caught up in trying to win that I forget about what else is important. Once, James and I were having a race to the football ground. We were so busy racing, we forgot to pick up some of the players. That wasn't very useful. When I met Hong Mei, the #1 tank engine on the Chinese railway, we just had to have a race. I wanted to win and prove I could go faster than Hong Mei. But in the end, it was more important that we were friends. They may write numbers differently in China, but Hong Mei and I, we can both be #1.
Come on, Thomas!
It's time to go.
See you next time! How do you feel when you don't do something right the first time? Sometimes I get upset. The first time I pulled the troublesome trucks, they convinced me to go too fast, and I couldn't slow down. So I crashed. I felt very silly, but I didn't give up. I kept on pulling those trucks until I got much better at it. And when I was in China, I got upset when Yongbao told me I had stopped a runaway truck the wrong way. But then he taught me a better way. And with some practice, I learned the best way to stop a runaway truck. So, if you're learning something new and you don't get it right the first time, don't get upset. Just keep on trying.
Come on, Thomas!
It's time to go.
See you next time! Back on Sodor, my friends have often helped animals in need. Like when Philip had to stop Gordon because the sheep were in danger on the line. Or when Diesel helped a family of ducklings get back to their pond. In the rainforest, I wasn't very sensitive to the animals at first. I kept forgetting not to be too noisy and to move around carefully. But when the bushfire started, I helped to rescue them. I learned that animals should be protected and respected. After all, they share our home here on planet Earth. We throw things away that can still be really useful. Reg loves finding ways of reusing old scrap. One year, he even made himself a Christmas tree from scrap. And Duck is good at reusing things too. When the school at Harwick was damaged in a storm, Duck went looking for a coach to take the children to another school. He found poor Dexter abandoned on a siding. It was Duck's idea to turn the old coach into a classroom, which meant Dexter was really useful again. So before you decide to throw something away, stop and ask yourself, what would Reg do? And see if it could be repaired, recycled, or reused.
Come on, Thomas!
It's time to go.
See you next time! It's fun to show off what you can do, but too much showing off can get you into a lot of trouble. Spencer was so busy showing off to a very important passenger that he ended up taking him to the clay pits instead of Knapford. James thought it was very important which colour he was painted, but no matter what colour he was, he couldn't stop showing off, even in his dreams. In the end, James realized that he had to stop showing off if he didn't want to have another crash. Sometimes showing off makes you forget to be careful, and that can cause lots of problems.
Come on, Thomas!
It's time to go.
See you next time! How do you feel when someone teases you? Once, Gordon made fun of Henry for being afraid of a few drops of rain. That hurt Henry's feelings. Another time, Samson called Millie a silly little engine. That made Millie feel cross. It can feel horrible when somebody says something mean about you. When I stood up for Rosie at the docks, Bill and Ben and Diesel all made fun of me. I felt silly and upset, and that made me act in a bad way towards Rosie. I shouldn't have listened to them and their silly teasing. Sticking up for your friends is a good thing, not something to make fun of. And I'm very happy that Rosie is my friend.
Come on, Thomas!
It's time to go.
See you next time! Have you ever solved a mystery? Perhaps you had to keep an eye out for clues, and maybe someone came along to help you. Once, Bill and Ben sent Timothy all over the island to fetch a rainbow-colored truck. But just when he realized they were teasing him, Salty helped him find one anyway. When Sydney forgot what he was supposed to be doing with his flatbed of parts, Paxton stepped in to help. They followed the clues, and together they solved the mystery. The parts were for Sydney. Sometimes, when you've got a problem to solve, it helps to do it together with a friend. Together, you can make it fun.
Come on, Thomas!
It's time to go.
See you next time!